Hi everyone, I'm Evan Fox and this is your Midweek Movie Preview, the segment where we take just a few minutes to let you know what's coming out in theaters and on Blu Ray. First up for theaters this week is Everything Everything, starring Nick Robinson, who you'll recognize as the older brother from Jurassic World, and Amandla Stenberg. The movie follows a girl who is required to stay in her home because she has an illness where basically if she goes outside she'll die, and a boy moves in across the street and they form a relationship. So basically her mother is afraid of what'll happen if the boy convinces her to go outside. So it's one of those, you know, you're so close but you're too far away to reach romances. So it looks kind of like a coming of age romance story with a little bit of a quarantine plot mixed in. It looks like it's geared very much toward the teenage to young adult audience. So if you're looking for a bit of a sappy romance film this week, this movie's for you. Next up this week is Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul. This is the fourth film in the series, yet most, if not all, of the original cast is not returning, mainly because they got older and the characters within the movie are supposed to be timeless. So the whole cast has been replaced. The only person I really recognized was Alicia Silverstone. She's playing the mom. The film has generated a little bit of criticism already before it's released because a lot of people who are fans of the original three do not like the new casting that's been chosen. So we'll see if it's a flop or not, but it's something fun for the kids to go see this week. And now for the main event, the big movie that I think is coming out this week, and I really hope it's really good, is Alien Covenant. The film follows the story of lovable aliens who are just a little too touchy. I mean, look at this guy. You know, he's got a great smile. Just kidding. Alien Covenant is getting back to the horror of the original. If you saw Prometheus, you were probably disappointed because Ridley Scott wanted to do a prequel and talk about the origin of the aliens and the engineers. Basically, this takes place in between Prometheus and the original Alien. There's a crew that is sent to a planet. They're a colonization crew made up entirely of couples, because if you're going to colonize a planet, what better way to do it? So when they get to the planet, they find out it's devoid of any life.
You hear that?
What?
Nothing. No birds, no animals, nothing.
And hijinks ensue, for lack of a better word. The movie, early reviews of the movie have said that it answers a lot of questions from Prometheus about the origin of the xenomorphs and all that, but it also goes back to the visceral, bloody, gory horror of the original Alien, which I'm really excited for because recently aliens have just become fodder for predators and colonial marines. I'm glad to see them back in their true predatory form. The movie looks really scary, it looks very intense. It has a great cast filling out. Michael Fassbender returns as both David, the android from Prometheus, and Walter, the new android that's accompanying the Covenant crew. Catherine Waterston plays a new Ripley S character, and it looks like she's really made the role her own. Billy Crudup and Danny McBride round out the cast. Also, James Franco, I think, it's hard to tell. I think he makes a limited appearance as the captain. The build-up to the movie has been great. The marketing campaign is wonderful. If you want to catch up kind of what's happened in between the two movies, there are two prologue videos. They're about 5 to 8 minutes apiece on YouTube. One is The Last Supper, which is kind of ominous, and the second one is The Crossing, which shows what happened to David as he came over from Prometheus.
All of this to start our new life.
Again, this movie looks amazing to me, and I really hope it can live up to what the commercials have shown because I'm a huge fan and I just want to see the alien become scary again. So that's what's coming out in theaters this week. If you don't feel like braving the crowds, you can always go home and check out these movies on Blu Ray. The first up for this week is The Space Between Us, a sci-fi romance starring Britt Robertson, Asa Butterfield, and Gary Oldman. It's about a boy who is born on Mars and starts to feel kind of trapped as he grows older while he talks to a girl via, I guess, future Skype on Earth. So he concocts a plan to get to Earth. The only problem is, having grown up on Mars, his heart can't handle our gravity. The film is very much a young adult sci-fi romance. Britt Robertson, the female lead, you'll recognize from Tomorrowland. So if you're looking for just a quick romance movie with a little bit of a sci-fi edge and a fish out of water plot, then this movie is for you. Another big Blu-ray release this week is Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, which Obviously, it's the final movie in the Resident Evil series directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. If you've seen the other films in the series, you'll pretty much know what to expect. If you're a fan of the video game franchise, then you know that the films are way off from any storyline, so they're pretty much their own monster now. Again, the CGI looks good, the action looks visceral, so if you're just looking for a quick shoot 'em up with monsters in it, then this movie is worth checking out. And finally, to close things out, I'm going to give you guys another trailer this week. The final trailer for War of the Planet of the Apes has dropped. It stars Andy Serkis as Caesar, the chimpanzee hero, and it also stars Woody Harrelson as a human colonel who is seeking to wipe out the apes in the eponymous war. It looks very fun, dramatic, very intense. I really enjoy this franchise, especially Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because surprisingly, to me, that movie was very Shakespearean in how it handled betrayal and love for a people. I would definitely watch this trailer. The marketing for it has been great, and I'm very excited for the final product. So that's it for this week, guys. Check back in on WCBI.com under the News for Us tab to check in what's going on with our newsroom and to see what movies are coming out in theaters on Blu-ray every week. I'm Evan Fox, and this has been your Midweek Movie Preview.